folks, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the Handicapped Traveler. We're going to be going on adventures together, exploring parks so that we can see the wonderful nature. Now we probably won't get to see any moose, but I love moose. So we'll also be going to zoos where we can see other animals that you won't see on my trips. I also love history, so we'll be hitting up some historical places, towns, and museums. And we also might visit some stores and flea markets, which also are things that I enjoy doing, especially if it's more antique type store or flea market. Most times I'll be using a wheeled walker. Other times I'll have a standard cane. Sometimes I'll be using a wheelchair, like when we go to the zoos. I also have a gait belt that when my wife is along with me can hold on to me in case I look like I might fall. Most of all, we're going to have fun. And I want you to remember that using devices like the walker or cane, or whatever you need to use, it's helping you be handy capable instead of handicapped. See you on our adventure. So now we're coming up onto the sign that actually says Lakeshore Park Main Pavilion. And one thing I'm going to point out is that at 440 feet in length, Lakeshore Park Main Pavilion, now known as the Ashtabula Township Park Lakefront Pavilion, is thought to be the longest and oldest lakefront pavilion in continuous use on the Great Lakes. Yeah, I'm trying to get how long this pavilion is right now. So, of course I can't get the whole pavilion in the lake, or the length rather. There goes my words again. And as you can see in this pavilion, there's swings and picnic tables, of course. But we'll be going in there in a little bit, and I'll be back. So they also have like a stand here that's probably open in the summer, and sure it'll be open for the crafts in the park that takes place September 10th and 11th. But they have funnel cakes and sausage and peppers. Man, I almost said papers. So they're open Tuesday through Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. So they might be opening up a little bit later today. They're closed on Mondays, but today is Thursday. So later on it might actually be open, but we didn't bring money, so we probably won't be getting any. And here is one of those old lion fountains, which I think, well, the water is not draining, but it actually is working, and that is unusual. I have not really seen
something's working before, so that's really cool. And Mrs. Traveler is chilling on at a picnic table here. We're headed into the pavilion. Now, there are steps straight ahead, but what I want to show, and what's cool, is they actually have a net up. Now, in April they didn't have that, but it probably protects the stage here from bugs and birds when the bands are playing on it. Yeah. And those are steps. I thought I remembered a ramp in this pavilion, but then again, maybe I'm wrong, so maybe it's not as handicapped accessible as I thought it was. Yeah, well, yeah, there's the restrooms are handicapped accessible. And then, so I'm checking the other side out, see if that's steps or. And on from Memorial Day October to October 1st, the pavilion is reserved for the Lakeshore cruisers. And this is steps 2. So to get out to the lake, it really is not, well, I guess I could walk around that way. I see a gate that you could get onto the grass. But as I said, I thought it was more handicapped friendly. A little closer to the lighthouses now. I'm still not getting that great of a view of them. Got a better view of that ship that's docked out there. I was zooming. So now we're on our way again. I don't know, I might have already mentioned this, but last time we were here, we got to see some snow geese, not just the Canadian geese, which seem to be very prevalent right now. And there's another squirrel. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him, though he's a distance away. Yeah, and they have a spigot and some grills in the pavilion, which it's nice. And we'll see if anybody knows what these boards are like. Well, the goose is eating in it, but we have no idea what this is for. As you can see, lots of geese. So I'm going to turn this off and we'll get somewhere else to discover some other stuff. So I wanted to show you real quick that these stones here were probably docks at one time, and you can see the tooling marks. So now we're going to shut down again, and Mrs. Traveler and I are going to sit for a little bit and see if we can find any birds. There was one flying over there, but I don't think I got it for you. Anyhow, see you in a bit. Bye. Even though I wasn't able to get a good view of the lighthouse, they do have the history of the Ashtabula Lighthouse here with really small print. So now Mrs. Traveler and I are going to go to a different part of the park and see what we can see, and hopefully you'll be here with me. Bye. So we found another pavilion up above, and there's looks down over the pond, but there's frisbee golf, and then there's also some horseshoe pits. Not sure I got those horseshoe pits. And then we're walking towards the bridge, and we'll see if we can get to the pond. We saw some snow geese and some ducks, so we're going to see if we can get down there without killing ourselves. I'll be back. So there's this little bridge here, which is a step up, and I'm going to attempt to do this. Oh, Jiminy crickets. We thought this place was handicapped accessible, but this park is totally not handicapped accessible. This is, see, to get down to the pond, yeah, walk down steps. This is, yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't complain so much, but. Okay, folks. This is a different type of video because when we went this past Thursday to film this video, I forgot my backup battery and ran out of battery charge for the video camera. So in other words, Mr. Handicapped Traveler was singing, "If only I had a brain." And we did take pictures. So I'm going to make it sort of like a slideshow. I would like to mention, and I did mention it a couple times during the video, but got cut off. We thought the park was handicapped accessible. The last time we went there, we just really went to the pavilion because it was in April, and we decided it was too cold to birdwatch, which is the main reason we wanted to go back to this park, was to birdwatch, but we thought it was much more handicapped accessible. It is not a park for handicapped people. The long pavilion is handicapped accessible. The rest of the park was torture. To get to the pond, which you'll see later on, Mrs. Traveler had a good hold of me. If you're using a wheelchair, it's not happening. And I wanted to mention how they had a mute swan, which you'll see. They have a thing where you could put a quarter in and get duck food. And the mute swan saw us near that, and he started following us. Unfortunately, we didn't have any change on us, so we didn't get any. And what also amused us was the sign that said, "Do not feed the geese." Well, if you're throwing food into the water, how are you not going to feed the geese and just the ducks and the swan? Are you going to say, "Now, geese, don't you eat this"? I mean, get real. So anyhow, I want you to know Mrs. Traveler and I had a great time bird watching. We got to see some Muscovy ducks, which we had never seen before. And I actually thought I had a picture, but I don't. of a ring-billed gull, which we have seen before, but I think they're cool. The gulls that were down by the lake that were on the video earlier were herring gulls. And then I don't know if you'll be really able to tell with the pictures, but the brownish duck was a Muscovy duck. And then we had a picture of a black and white duck, which also is a Muscovy duck. And then the other ducks were mallards, which the Muscovy ducks are the only duck in America that has not descended from mallards. And I thought that was an interesting fact. And then there were the white ducks or Pekin ducks, and there also were snow geese. So just want you to know. And then there are also some pictures of the two of us picnicking after we walked up that huge hill again. Poor Mrs. Traveler kind of pushed me up that. She's a great lady. I don't know how she stuck up with me for 27 years, but I'm glad she has. So anyhow, folks, I wanted to say, because it'll end with just the slideshow, if you have to use a wheeled walker, or any kind of walker, cane, wheelchair, whatever kind of device you might have to use, it's not making us handicapped. It's making us handicapable. And I want to thank you for joining us on this adventure, and I hope you all have a great day.